there's our entrance. The fence goes down to the creek. And
right down to the bottom?
Yes.
And then up the other side?
And see where the trees go right along.
Yes.
See that tree line right at the top?
Yep.
That's our property.
Ooh, look at that.
Sounds impressive, doesn't it?
It starts here.
Bare feet and you can
and it goes up to the top of that ridge over there.
Bare feet and tough as nails. You go, this fella knows.
So this is the dairy farm next door where it's cleared. This used to be a dairy farm like 30 years ago. And you see where all the wattles are? That used to be all, it used to all look the same as this years, and because we've got the maps to go back to the 50s, so.
Wow.
From
that
the
regrowth and...
Yeah, there's lots of wattles that are grown into the dairy. But it's probably got about 30 to 50 acres of usable. Yeah, well this is our block.
Hello everybody.
Hi there. Yeah, we haven't moved here yet, but we bought this about 6 months ago. About 169 acres.
Yes.
Yeah. A dam, comes with a dam, but no house.
As yet.
As yet, so we're excited to be developing this, clearing it, opening it up for great potential.
Yeah.
We have pre-approval from the Noosa Council to put a house.
It's a lifestyle
cabins,
property. Yeah.
And sort of like a function, we call it the barn, where we hope to build the first building. Is that right?
Well, we're taking our time to create ideas and get a feel of the property to see what suits where, what animals to potentially have to grow crops or to complement the region and other farmers in the area that Noosa Shire are supporting to create the green zone for just to complement one another in growing an agricultural community with a strong focus on farmers markets and local produce. So we're on the border of the Noosa Shire Council, closely connected to the Gympie Shire. We are 5 minutes from the township of Pomona and about the same 5-10 minutes from Karoi, which is a quickly growing small town, but yes, with everything you need in the community and on the highway. So about 5 minutes from the highway, easy to turn off, and a lot of rural properties with the horse riding schools and horses along the Middle Creek Primary School, with a great reputation of teaching. And what else do we have? We're surrounded with neighbours, but we don't see any of them. All on properties from a couple of acres through to larger.
Yeah, our immediate neighbours to the north are dairy farms. This was once a dairy farm, an overgrown one now.
Previously dairy, 30 years ago, and had grown small crops of pawpaws and beans as well.
Yeah,
we've heard.
Yeah, it may feel like a long way out of civilization here, but the fact is, with the highway opening up, it's amazing actually. Like as we're coming through Sippy Downs area, it's really only.
It took us an hour and a half.
Another 15 minutes to get up to this way. It's interesting. It's pretty much, with that highway, access is very good.
110 kilometres. An hour and a half to Brisbane and 30 minutes to Gympie, if that, for the main town centres.
Yeah.
And
hour and a half to Brisbane, that's about right, So, we're excited to be dreaming here. Up on the ridge over here, we're hoping to put some cabins. There's beautiful views up there to the Kalula coast, and you can see that sand blow out towards Noosa North Shore, towards Rainbow Beach. So this is where we're proposing to put a barn, which is going to also be a bit of a function centre for our projects. the new agriculture stuff we want to do here, and also the renewable energy. There'll be a shed out the back, a nice big barn doors at the front, and a mezzanine at the top. So we want this to look old school. It's not going to look like a shed. Yeah, so that's what we're doing at this point. We've got the dam here. We want to have a lot of roof to collect water and to generate, probably put in at least a 20 kilowatt solar here to pump the water all over the property. We've got a little creek bed here, seasonal creek that runs beside it, and we're going to put a sort of like a cute little stone bridge over that creek up to this other ridge where there's going to be some more cottages and things like that. All going to plan. We've been considering putting some vines here purely to add to the ecotourism side of things, and because it's a north-facing ridge, we believe it will work. Like a lot of people say, it's too humid on the Sunshine Coast, but there are a few vineyards in the area. The key is to get lots of airflow and lots of sunlight. So that north-facing ridge, we believe, will work, and it's a long one. It goes up probably half a kilometre up that hill there. Yeah, so that's the idea there. We're just going to try it and see how it goes. Yeah, the other thing we've always dreamed of doing was to plant lavender. So we're going to clear more of that ridge and try some lavender. And by the same token, humidity is a killer for lavender, but once again, because of the slopes and that, we believe that has a chance to work. Yeah, we're also looking at other ideas, small crops, rosemary. Anyway, it's early days, so we'll see how we go.
So here we are at the top ridge of the property. We've got views out to Pomona and Pinbarren Mountain in the distance. Then the views extend further up on the ridge out to the blowhole, isn't it?
Cooloola Coast, yeah.
Cooloola Coast. We've found this little spot on the ridge. What do you call it? The edge of the ridge, where we can possibly build a little chapel, maybe, while we're in the dreaming stage. A little chapel with a big deck, looking out over the views and down the valley.
Our daughters come up with the idea to put a little chapel up here and maybe do a few wedding shots. Ali's into photography and she does that sort of thing. Maybe we could get a hang gliding course and take off from the top of this ridge.
Lots of possibilities while we're dreaming. It's fun at this stage. Yeah, and the other idea is perhaps a little vineyard. We could try a few grapes to start with and see whether they actually grow and produce something.
Yeah, so we've got a fair bit of timber on the property. A lot of it's this spotted gum here, ranges in size from that to much bigger. So we're just investigating. There are exemptions where you can use timber on the property to build infrastructure, so we're looking at that. Obviously this is a spot where we want to clear anyway to build a house, so a fair bit of this stuff will be coming out. And yeah, looking at milling this down the bottom of the block and potentially building from it. No shortage of timber here. This is a big old fella that's obviously a bit dead, but yeah, there's some massive timbers in this area that have been milled in the past. I think whatever you do, you got to be passionate about it to do it.
Exactly, you got to be called almost.
Yeah, you don't do it for the fun of it.
At this stage, you're dreaming and searching. A cabin right here, for example, would rent very nicely to tourists.
That's right. Yeah.
It's here at the end of the day.
That's what I think.
Just get your
You
glamping. The glamping tents over down here over the dam. Maybe if you put
Well,
it
this-
glamping spots would be.
Well, this hill, you could put quite a few little cabins right on this hill.
You can charge more if they can't see anybody.
Yeah.
So we've got an area.
So you
can go in.
How far over that side of the valley does your property run?
not far at all.
Not far.
The line sort of goes on the other side of that ridge up the top.
Oh, okay.
So
Also, the other thing is it's going to take years, if ever, to heal scars of the bulldozer.
Yeah.
So beware of that when you're doing any further bulldozing.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
You'll never clear that behind that dam down there. You'll never cover that with anything. It'll always be a scar
Yeah.
for 150 years.
okay. So that was already there. We just went with that.
Yeah.
I think you would get lantana growing there.
Well,
Only if it's good for.
but you've got enough compensating things in the view here. The mountain, the hillside,
Yeah, that's right.
the water at the front. You know, you've got enough things. People will tolerate that, but just be aware that when you put a bulldozer anywhere, it's going to take 100 years to clear the scar.
Yeah, shit,
Because of
And,
the
The
footprint.
impact, yeah.
The impact of those, yeah. That's
we
why
put
I'm not
citrus
wanting to get the
trees there?
excavator into that creek.
That's
It's,
what it was, citrus.
we'll,
Yeah,
we'll do that bit by bit.
That's
Yeah.
west actually, and north.
Well, it's
Um,
wonderful.
I don't know